I thought it important to highlight two companies that are falsely claiming to be open platforms, that are working to suppress conservative ideas and working to elect Democrat socialists. Big Tech's treacherous tactics. That's the focus of tonight's preamble. Multi-billion-dollar corporations are literally making in-kind contributions to the Democrat Socialist Party by cracking down on conservative content on their platforms during this election cycle. In any type of warfare, even a battle of ideas, the first order of business is to disrupt your enemy's communications. That's what Jack Dorsey's Twitter and Mark Zuckerberg's Facebook are doing. The latest example of this was the suppression of the growing Biden family scandal that has seen allegations of cronyism, selling out our national security, child predation, and influence peddling. President Trump, at a peaceful protest in Arizona, lamented the liberal media and social media blackouts of that story.
It's a powerful party, and the party is totally joined with the fake news media, the lamestream media right there. And they're totally joined with the big tech. I don't know, Section 230. Does anyone know what Section 230 you do? Section 230, I think, you know, tremendous corruption on behalf of the Biden, tremendous. Do you know you can't find it anywhere in the media other than the New York Post, which I'm very proud of, and they endorsed me the other day too, by the way. But you can't find it anywhere in the media, anywhere. It's not on any of the, it's not in Facebook.
It's true. The biased press has laughingly used journalism as an excuse not to report news, and social media has used the excuse that the materials in question were hacked.
Either one of you have any evidence that the New York Post story is part of Russian disinformation, or that those emails aren't authentic? Do any of you have any information whatsoever they're not authentic, or that they are Russian disinformation? Mr. Dorsey.
We don't. We believed it fell afoul of our hacking materials policy. We judged in the moment.
What evidence did you have that it was hacked? They weren't hacked.
We judged in a moment that it looked like it was hacked materials.
You were wrong.
Surfacing, and we updated our policy and our enforcement within 24 hours.
But he didn't make any changes. The New York Post reported that Dorsey lied during that hearing. Jack Dorsey falsely told senators that his company lifted a ban on users tweeting articles from the New York Post's Hunter Biden expose. But the ban remained on one of those Post stories, and it was there only lifted after he made that claim to the Senate. Now, I thought it was illegal to lie under oath to Congress. I suppose when you're a left-wing billionaire, you can break the laws that the rest of us can't. But what about this idea that Twitter and Facebook don't want to promote hacked materials? The Biden laptop was not hacked. It was the legal property of the citizen who turned it over to the FBI, which then sat on it for 9 months. But there were stories that Twitter and Facebook gleefully allowed to be widely shared, stories that relied on illegally obtained documents.
It is worth noting that both Twitter and Facebook's aversion to hacked materials has not always been so stringent. For example, when the president's tax returns were illegally leaked, neither company acted to restrict access to that information.
So what's with the double standard? It turns out that fairness or illegality isn't what's guiding Dorsey and Zuckerberg. It's bias, liberal bias. Now, Twitter and Facebook, they are private companies. They can be left-wing. They can be anti-American. They can be socialists all they want to be. What they can't do is lie to their customers by claiming to be open forums. They can't get legal protection from lawsuits and then rake in billions of dollars as they make all of their users work to provide content for their platforms for free. Now, I know what you're thinking. What kind of liberal Democrat socialist would set up a business, lie to their customers, have lousy customer service, and then pay off members of Congress to shield those companies from prosecution for wrongdoing? Well, yesterday we got an answer to that, too.
Twitter has chosen to approach content moderation from the standpoint of combating misinformation as well. So it's strange to me that you've flagged the tweets from the president, but haven't hidden the Ayatollah's tweets on Holocaust denial or calls to wipe Israel off the map.
We have a policy against misinformation in 3 categories, which are manipulated media, public health, specifically COVID, and civic integrity, election interference, and voter suppression. That is all we have policy on for misleading information. We do not have policy or enforcement for any other types of misleading information that you're mentioning.
So somebody who denies the Holocaust has happened is not misinformation?
It's misleading information, but we don't have a policy against that type of misleading information.
Any companies that would censor a Republican president of the United States but allow Holocaust deniers to, well, have free reign to spread their anti-Semitic bile, what would you call a company that does that? Would you call them unfair? Would you call them anti-American? Would you call them degenerates? Here's one. Would you call them subhuman? Oh, no, wait. I have something that's perfect. The perfect descriptor for the companies that would do such a thing. Let's just call them Democrats.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.